And even now my heart's getting crazy thinking about this. Hey guys, so I thought I would try and do a video here. It was about a week ago that I had my doctor's appointment with a specialist for endometriosis in New York. And so I thought I'd just give a little update on that. I also thought that I would maybe insert a clip of a video I had taken a couple weeks ago. I guess it'd be 3 weeks at this point, 2 weeks before my appointment, or maybe it was a week before my appointment, I can't remember, of some other side effects I've been feeling with my endometriosis that have definitely gotten a lot more prevalent in the last month or so. You will see at the time that I was still not in a good place. My video is very, I don't know, sad. So yeah, I'll just insert that right here. Hey guys, so I thought I would give a little endometriosis update here. Things have kind of really changed in the last couple weeks here, and in about 2 weeks I will have my appointment with a specialist out in New York. And I was going to wait until that, but things have really changed, and I want to make sure that I kind of document and keep track of what's going on. And it's also kind of important, I want to talk about what's been happening because it's new and different than what has been happening with my endometriosis. And I want, I guess I just want to talk about it. I guess I need to do some back story here. So I've always kind of had those nervous tummy feelings when starting new things, and I would often even feel really nauseous the night before the new thing would happen. New things are just generally hard for me to do. They tend to make me feel anxious. So that's always been a part of my life. It's never been to a point where it stopped me from doing anything. I've always have just kind of ignored it and said, I'm just going to do it anyway, and that new things are good things, and it's okay to find those things kind of scary because you don't know what's going to happen, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it because it feels scary. So that was kind of how I've been growing up. I've always struggled with that. I've always felt that way. And there have been a couple times where it's been more prevalent. So one time was with my bridal shower. There was stuff going on behind the scenes that made me feel really anxious and nervous about it. And plus, I don't like to be the center of attention like that. I don't like to be like the one that everyone is focusing on and looking at. And so add that on top of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, I was stressing out about it, and I didn't feel necessarily stressed, but then like a couple days before the shower, I broke out in hives all over my body, all over. And I couldn't figure out what it was. Nothing else had changed, and so I went to the doctor and I explained what was happening, and he'd asked if anything stressful was happening, and I told him what was happening. And he said, well, they're stress-induced hives. So even though you don't feel stressed, what has happened was that your body internalized it and it came out through hives. That's how the stress manifested itself. So they actually put me on an antihistamine and antidepressant combo med for a couple of days to help calm down everything and help calm my hives down, because it was literally like all over my body, my face, my body, everywhere. And so that was kind of like the one big time that I remember my anxiety really ever affecting me and causing something to actually happen outside of me just, the normal feeling nervous about stuff. So then, now let's skip to now. My endo has been getting progressively more hard to manage, and I'm kind of at this point where I'm now thinking I need to be on some sort of pain meds on almost a regular basis in order to cope with it. Because what is happening is my body is focusing so hard on the endometriosis and fighting it and kind of coping with it that the other stressors of my life my body can't handle. So I haven't had anything really stressful up until this point, or new up until this point, since the endo has been flaring. And even now my heart's getting crazy thinking about this. But so we're kind of changing churches. We're changing church locations. But it's a whole new group of people again, new experiences and all that stuff. And it's stuff I want to do. And then this week, Bella starts school and we start gymnastics. So it's a bunch of new stuff for me, even. We've never done anything like gymnastics. I will know one person in the gymnastics class, so that will make it a little easier for me. And I know a lot of people at Bella's school, but it's still this completely new experience for me, and working with a teacher, like, it's weird. So what would normally just be like, oh, I'm a little nervous or anxious about these things, but I'm still going to do it anyway, is now manifesting itself into anxiety attacks, because my body cannot physically handle it, because I'm dealing with pain all the time. My body can't handle the stress of my anxiety, and so I'm waking up in the middle of the night in cold sweats and my heart racing. I get up and I'm really short of breath, my heart starts racing, and it's also then what ends up happening is because my anxiety is at a high, my endo then flares up even more, so that the pain becomes so unbearable that I can't really function. And so I've had to miss out on a couple of things because the combo of the anxiety and the endo has been so bad that I can't physically go out and see people. Making friends and small talk and conversing with people is hard for me to begin with, so to have to do that and put on a face like I'm okay to talk is just too hard sometimes. And so it's really sucked because I've had to miss out on some things I didn't want to miss out on. But when my anxiety starts skyrocketing, my endo also starts to skyrocket, and it gets to the point where I can't walk because my endo is all in my gut and my hips and all that, and it will actually send nerve pain down into my leg, kind of like almost sciatica type of thing. But it gets to my hip, and then eventually what happens is when it gets to my hip, it goes down into my leg when it gets to a certain level, and it's all in my lower back too. So it's just been really hard to kind of deal with that, because I mentally don't want to be home. I don't want to be a hermit. That I want to be doing these things. I want to be involved in our new church. I want to meet new people. I want to have people over and form new connections and friendships. I want my daughter to go to school. I want to meet her classmates' parents and become friends with them and form relationships with them, with the teachers, with the staff. I want to be involved in those things. And now with gymnastics, I want to be involved. And there's part of that is that I want to be a light for those who don't know and those who are lost. I want to be a light for God and a witness. And it's hard to do that when you can't show up because you're sick. So that's been really hard. I'm feeling a little bit better now. And so I'm really hoping that this meeting, this consultation on the 15th will shed some light as to what we can do to help, and that I can actually start making some steps in the right direction to better health. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's been a really emotional couple of days. I felt really worn down. And it's weird because even though I feel emotionally worn down and everything, I'm not like, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, mentally, I am okay. I don't know how to explain this. Mentally, I feel okay. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not discontent. I'm okay. Like, I'm really okay. But physically and sometimes emotionally, because of, I think, my weakness, I don't feel okay, even though my brain is saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's not a big deal. God has you, He loves you, you have friends who love you, you have family who loves you. These things are not important. You still have babies, you know, like, you have so many blessings. And this is just a trial that God has you going through right now, and it's not the end of the world. And there's a purpose in this. But even though, like, all those things are in my brain and I know it, and I am, like, spiritually okay, and, like, my center is okay, my body is kind of, like, betraying me, and my mind is and my emotions are kind of betraying me, and not listening to my counsel, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, the doctor that I went to go see is in New York, so it's about 2 hours away for us, and my husband went with me, and I had my family watch the kids so that we could really have some undivided attention and really talk to the doctor and get some answers. I was referred to this doctor by a Facebook group that is specifically for endometriosis, and it is run by some of the leading developers, I guess you could say, in the field, and some of the leading surgeons worldwide in the field. So they have better information than a regular gynecologist would. Their information is more up to date. The procedures on how to treat endometriosis are better. Just everything is kind of more informed. And like I said, it's a worldwide doctors. So that is why I decided to go see a specialist, because for 15 years now, well, I guess not quite that much, well, no, I guess 10 years now, 10 to 12 years now, I've been seeing just regular gynecologists and been getting essentially nowhere. Then by finding this Facebook group that talks about it, have learned more about the illness, disease, whatever you want to call it, in the last year than I have ever learned from any of my doctors. And so that's where they have a list of surgeons that are approved and are known to have a much higher success rate than any gynecologist that you could ever go to locally or whatever. So there aren't any local to me. The closest one is 2 hours away in New York. So he was who I went to. There are a couple actually up at the practice. They're a holistic practice. So they don't just deal with surgery, they also deal with diet and other things. And so it's not just like a one and done type thing, even though all of the leading research says excision surgery done by a specialist is the only way to get any kind of real long-term, most likely permanent relief from endometriosis. So I went to the doctor, and he said, I went over my history going back to when I was in high school, and he said it definitely sounds like it's time for surgery, that hormone therapy, i.e. birth control and things like that, are not doing what they are supposed to do for the symptoms, that I am now a systemic patient. So that means that my endometriosis is not just affecting, it's not just cyclical and affecting my periods and things like that. It's affecting my everyday life, it's affecting different organs,
and it is spreading, obviously. And so he had done an exam, and he said from the exam he could tell that my uterus was most likely bound somehow to my abdominal wall, because it was not moving like it should when he was examining me. And so he said, based on all of that, it seems like my endometriosis is definitely at an advanced stage, and the only thing to give me relief at this point is surgery. He referred me also to some other like groups that are worldwide national doctor groups to get updated information on constantly. He had asked actually how I had been referred to him, and I told him about the Facebook group, and it's called Nancy's Nook, and I will link it down below. They are super helpful and have loads of information. And he said there was an excellent group, and he gets referred a lot by them and he gets referred from people from Maryland, Pennsylvania, all over, because there's no one local to us. What was I saying? Oh, so he had said he definitely recommended surgery, and that for him right now, he's scheduling 3 months out. So as of right now, I do not have a date. Hopefully tomorrow, so I will actually insert it in my editing right here when my surgery date is. They're going to call me, the office is going to call me tomorrow when they start scheduling all of their patients for the surgeries. So that will be at least 3 months out. He said the one thing that we were concerned about a lot was the whole recovery process, and he said because I don't have any other health issues and I'm young and in good shape otherwise, that he does not expect my recovery to be hard. That the first week I'll be laid up, and then it should just be 2 to 3 weeks recovery after that from the surgery, unless something, happens. He has suggested during this 3-month-ish time while I'm waiting for the surgery that I go on an anti-inflammatory diet to help manage the pain better, since I am in so much pain all the time. That is what I'm attempting to do. It is not easy for me. I feel like food is one of the only things I can enjoy anymore. That most things are really hard for me right now, and the taste of yummy food is like the only thing that really I can enjoy, but then I actually can't, because then it makes me hurt more. So it's just kind of hard, because in those moments when I'm just feeling really crappy and I just feel like crap and I just want something nice, I feel like, oh, let me have some food, some yummy food, and I can't. So an anti-inflammatory diet would consist of gluten-free, dairy-free, red meat-free, and I need to up my omegas. I need to up my veggies and fruits, and I am working hard at really trying to kind of stay focused and not get overwhelmed. Going to church every week has definitely been helping me kind of stay focused on what really matters, and that God has got me through this, and that I'm not forsaken. He will preserve my friendships, my family relationships. He will preserve all those things in this time when I am not very social because of the pain. And so it's just been a lot of adjustment. And I'm looking forward to the surgery greatly. So is my husband. It's really starting to affect us. It's been it'll be a year, I would say, that I will be dealing with the intensity in which that I'm dealing with. It started around January of 2016. The intensity, where it's kind of that constant all-day pain with major flare-ups and things like that. So, yeah, surgery is well welcomed in my household. My kids are aware now. They know that mommy went to a special doctor and that mommy's going to need a surgery, and that the surgery is going to help mommy feel better. So before, the kids just kind of knew that I wasn't feeling good sometimes. They didn't really understand that I didn't feel good all the time. Now they kind of understand that my stomach hurts all the time and that mommy doesn't feel good all the time, because it really shows now. I really have a hard time hiding my pain all day, every day like I was before. It's just gotten to a point where it's too hard to hide and to not show. And so my kids are definitely seeing that part of me now, whereas before it was just every once in a while they would notice I was not feeling good. So that's definitely been hard. And I've definitely seen that watching videos, vlogging, definitely seeing that my face doesn't have a smile on it as much, and it's not necessarily because I'm not in a good space mentally all the time. Most of the time I am. Most of the time I'm okay mentally. It's just my body is in a lot of pain, and I just don't realize that my face is showing it. And so I often am not smiling, and I just have this kind of grimacing, sad face on me all the time. And it's even affecting how my kids are acting. So I'm trying to be mindful of that and trying to put a smile on my face more, even though I don't feel happy necessarily, just to help be a good example to them. It's brought up lots of good conversations with the kids about leaning and trusting on God during those hard times, so we can do hard things with God, with His help. So I don't know if I'll update more beyond the pre-op. We'll have to see if I get any new symptoms or anything like that to update on before the surgery. So, all right, if you have any questions, make sure to leave it in the comments, and any information that I talked about in this video is in the description bar below, so make sure you check that out. All right, see you later, guys.